Hi guys, it's been a while. Let me show you guys how to read economic news, or rather on my last video I did fundamentals or economic news, right? So this is an economic calendar, my FX book, where updates of market analysis and also updates of data are being updated. That's for the fundamental analysis, which is the economic news. So what I was telling you guys was that you guys should filter only high demand news, right? And how can you do that? Let's go to our home, right? Let's go to economic calendar. We have different tools here, right? We have different tools here. So what do I do? How do I filter it? This is my settings. As you all can see, this is my settings, and this is impact, right? As you can see, there's high impact, there's medium impact, there's low impact. So by default, all of them are being ticked, or in fact, even including no impact. So what you should do is that you should uncheck these ones and leave only the high impact news, because high impact news is the strongest news. That is the news that makes the market volatile. That is the most important news. Others are more like noises in the market, right? So you can't be following all the newses. Now, when it comes to pairs too, you should tick only the pairs you are trading. If not, by default, all the pairs are ticked. So there will be a lot of news. There will be a lot of news. As you all can see, these are all currency pairs of countries. But because I only trade Japanese yen and British pounds and USD and gold, so I only ticked this particular three. Don't mind me, this Bitcoin. But then I ticked it because, yeah, sometimes I just want to see updates on Bitcoin, even though I haven't received anyone. So I only ticked only because I only trade Japanese yen and gold. That's gold USD. As you all can see, there is no gold. So I only ticked British pounds. I ticked JPY, which is Japanese yen, and I also ticked USD, right? So no any other news will be presented to me except those newses that I ticked, which are the British pounds, Japanese yen, and which is the British pounds, Japanese yen, and the USD, right? Where is it, Seth? Okay, it's up here. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. So this is it here. So these are the only news that are going to be presented to me, or rather that are presented to me. As you all can see, this is our last week's news that came out, on Thursday, Friday. You see, no, this was not last week, don't mind me. So then what I do is that I look at the news. If it comes out, as you all can see, this place, this is previous, so they will give you the data for the previous. So as for durable goods orders, this is only high impact news. So these are the news that are very important. So as for this now, they will give you a previous news. How much was the percentage? The consensus is what they are predicting. The prediction is not yet out, right? So the prediction is 0.3 according to economists, right? Then the actual is when the news comes out. And as you can see, you see the date, which is 24th of December by 14:30, which is 2:30 p.m., right? So when the news comes out as expected, you go to your chart and you see the magic that happens there. But you position before the chart, and also you just don't, when it comes out as expected, you just take the trade, and just because the news came out as expected, you just assume that pair is going to rise. No, we just use the news as confluence, as confirmation, right, to have an edge over the market. So let me show you guys like an example from last week. So look at this data. This was on the 19th of December, which was on Thursday. There was a high impact news. In fact, these are all high impact news, but even with high impact news, there are news that are so important, like way more than high impact. If I could even add anything to high impact, I'll call them high impact news, like interest rate decision, as you all can see, jobless claims, GDP. These are news that are even much more higher than other high impact news. So look at Bank of Japan interest rate decision came out. The previous was 0.5, the consensus was 0.5, and the actual that came out was 0.5. So it came out as expected, and they didn't cut their interest rate, or they didn't increase their interest rate. Now, British pounds, that's Bank of England interest rate decision, also came out on the 19th of December, which was on Thursday, right? And the previous interest rate was 4.75%. The consensus, which is the prediction, was 4.75. And the actual that came out was still 4.75, which is as expected, right? Nothing changed, nothing increased, nothing decreased. Now let's go to our chart and see what happened. What happened here was that already the market was on an uptrend. The market was on an uptrend. If you look at this particular area here, this was an uptrend even from the previous downtrend. So the market was breaking our former higher lows. It was breaking our former higher lows, right? As you all can see, it started making higher highs already, even before the news came out. So what did I do? And it made a pattern. If you watch my video, I did some patterns. Maybe I'll do it broadly and better. There's what we call chart patterns. There's what we call head and shoulder patterns. Now, this is a GBP JPY pair, which is British pounds Japanese yen pair, which states that it normally respects chart patterns, head and shoulder pattern. Let me show you an example of a head and shoulder pattern. Look at this now. This is a left shoulder. This area here is the left shoulder. This is a head, and this is a right shoulder. And it kept rising, breaking our former higher lows. Higher lows. It was breaking it. As you can see, it broke this point here, came back, retested, went and broke this our next point here, came back, retested, started making higher highs. You see? So this was where the news came out. This long bar here. This long bar was when the news came out. By the way, this 4 hours chart. So I normally do a top-down analysis, even though I do my entries from 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. But then I normally face 4 hours to see what's happening in the bigger picture. So look at this particular bar was when the Bank of England released their data for the interest rate, which came out as expected. Because it came out as expected and the market was already on an uptrend, as you all can see, and it broke our former high. You can see what happened, zoomed off. So I used the news to make confirmations to see what's going to happen. Already the British pound was even strong because other news has been out, but the interest rate was now something that the market needed to keep pushing up, keep making boundaries. And as you can see, from when it started making a downtrend, it went back to the tester area. Look, it retested it. So what will happen now is that it might actually go back up, it might come down, because I have my trend line here. So I'll see if the market will come down here, and there's a fair value gap around this area. So this is how we use the news to make confirmations. It doesn't happen in a day. So if you don't really understand it, you just have to keep practicing, keep understanding. But all I want you to do is that filter the medium impact, low impact, and no impact news, and leave only the high impact news, and also filter the currency pairs you are trading instead of leaving everything. As you can see, I showed you here how to do it. This is where the impacts are. Tick all these ones and leave only high impact news, so you will only be receiving high impact news. Then as for the currency pairs or the country you want to look at, only tick the countries you are looking at. As you can see, these are mine: British pounds, which is the UK, Japanese yen, and USD. So these are the only news I will receive, because this is just where my focus is. If you don't scale down, you get confused. So I hope this video was helpful. I just had to do it for you, so I will not keep procrastinating. Right at the end of the day, I wasn't showing my face, but then I passed the valuable information for who needs it out there. Thank you.